Aging is a journey filled with wisdom, and every day offers you the chance to discover something new about yourself. You may have reached 60 and beyond, and by now you know that life isn't about slowing down. It's about shifting into a different kind of rhythm that nourishes your mind, body and spirit. While many people are encouraged to do crosswords or take a brisk walk, there are also some delightful and unexpected activities that can spark your neurons in fresh and exciting ways. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's talk about a handful of brain-boosting pursuits that might just add a little extra sparkle to your everyday routine. Imagine gathering with a few friends or even spending some time on your own, letting your imagination roam free and diving into a game of collaborative storytelling. There's something magical about creating a tale on the spot where no idea is too small or too wild to explore. You can begin with a simple sentence, and before you know it, the story takes unexpected twists and turns. This isn't about being the next famous novelist. It's about giving your mind the kind of exercise that builds quick thinking and creativity while also stirring up memories and emotions that have been with you all along. The process of recalling bits of your own history or imagining extraordinary adventures trains your brain to form new connections every moment, making your neurons dance in ways they never have before. You might wonder, how exactly does spontaneous storytelling help your brain? When you create a narrative, you're pulling on several threads at once: memory, language, and emotion. This activity invites you to recall details, organize thoughts, and even adopt the viewpoints of characters you invent. It doesn't have to be a formal event either. It could be a friendly chat over a meal, or even a narrative exercise that you practice during quiet moments at home. Rather than worrying about perfection, it's about letting go of the pressure and letting your mind explore new realms. Sometimes the best stories come without a plan, and as you learn to trust yourself to improvise, you may find that challenges like coming up with an ending or transforming a turning point become a source of pleasure on their own. While sharing those spontaneous tales might remind you of childhood storytelling around a campfire, there's another creative approach to boosting your brain that turns reflection into art. Consider the idea of creative art journaling. Picture yourself with a blank notebook, colored pencils, some magazine clippings, and perhaps a few personal photographs that have always held cherished memories. You can let your thoughts spill onto the page, sometimes in words, sometimes in sketches, or even collages. This isn't about producing a perfect piece of art. It's about expressing yourself, allowing the colors and shapes to tell their own stories. The act of putting pen to paper in a freestyle manner encourages your mind to share feelings and insights that might otherwise remain tucked away. When you turn to art journaling, you're engaging both your creative and analytical sides. You experiment with different media, let your hands explore textures, and allow your thoughts to flow freely. For example, you might decide one day to tie a particular color to a memory of a summer gone by, or perhaps mix a bit of abstract doodling with a few short reflections on how you feel at the moment. The process itself is nurturing. Over time, these pages become a colorful mosaic of your life's experiences, continually evolving as you adapt, grow, and rediscover who you are. It teaches you that creativity is not limited by age. It's a lifelong companion that deepens with every new expression. Of course, our senses are remarkable partners in this journey. Our sense of taste and smell in particular can stir up hidden memories and ignite a spark of curiosity. That's why I'd like to invite you to step into the world of culinary sensory exploration. This isn't about following strict recipes or competing for the best dish. It's about discovering new flavors and textures that may have been waiting quietly for you to uncover. Perhaps you have a cherished recipe from years past, or maybe there's an exotic dish you always wanted to try cooking. The idea here is to pay close attention to the smells as aromatic spices hit the air, the textures of various ingredients as you chop or knead, and the symphony of flavors that come together at the end of your experiment. When you cook with all your senses in tow, you're not simply preparing food. You're engaging in an active, mindful performance. Your hands, your eyes, and your nose are all invited to work together as you experiment with combinations that appeal to both nostalgia and innovation. This approach transforms regular cooking into an opportunity for sensory education. You might decide to explore foods from a different culture, letting each spice and herb become a new chapter in your culinary adventure. Not only does this stimulate your memory by recalling tastes of the past, but it also encourages creative problem-solving as you fine-tune your dishes. Over time, each new flavor you try, each aromatic blend you create becomes a small celebration of life's endless variety. There is also something undeniably joyful about wandering outside with a camera in hand, a practice known as mindful photography walks. Imagine setting out at your own pace on a sunny morning or a crisp afternoon, with no particular destination in mind. Instead, you let your eyes take in the drama of nature, the interplay of light and shadow, or the intriguing patterns created by everyday objects. The goal isn't to capture an award-winning photograph, but to truly see your world through a fresh, determined lens. Sometimes you might notice details that had previously escaped your attention. The way sunlight dances on dew-soaked grass, the warm hues of autumn leaves, or the serene rhythm of a quiet street in the early hours. Mindful photography invites you to pause and savor the moment, encouraging a deliberate connection with your surroundings. Every shot is a tiny exercise in observation, forcing your mind to focus on detail rather than distraction. Later, when you review your photos with a gentle curiosity, you might discover that each image carries its own special story. Perhaps a simple flower held the memory of your mother's garden, or a particular building reminded you of a place that once felt like home. In this way, your camera becomes not only a tool but also a companion, helping you see the world in a new light and sparking conversations about beauty and memory with friends and family alike. On those days when the skies are overcast or your feet long for a gentle grounding, another delightful activity can help refresh your creative spirit: nature mosaic crafting. Picture this. You're on a peaceful walk in a nearby park or along a quiet riverbank. Your senses are tuned to the natural world. As you meander, you begin to collect little treasures that nature offers: a smooth pebble, an interestingly shaped leaf, a tiny branch, or even a vibrant petal blown along by the wind. Rather than letting these tokens slip away unnoticed, gather them, and when you return home, arrange them into a mosaic masterpiece on a piece of cardboard or a reclaimed board. There isn't a right or wrong way to do this. It's all about letting your hands and heart guide the process. As you experiment with positioning each element, you embark on a creative problem-solving journey. How might different colors and textures fit together, each piece harmonizing with the next? The act of creating a mosaic out of natural finds teaches you that order and beauty can emerge from spontaneity. It's a gentle reminder that while life may sometimes seem disordered, you have the power to create harmony and meaning from everyday moments. Working with natural materials also connects you to the cycles and rhythms of the seasons, grounding your creativity in the simple, steadfast beauty of the earth. All of these activities, improvised storytelling that taps into the reservoir of your life's experiences, art journaling that transforms thoughts into visual treasures, culinary adventures that treat each meal as a sensory exploration, photography walks that invite you to see the world with fresh eyes, and nature mosaic crafting that blends the creative with the organic are not just ways to pass the time. They are opportunities for you to celebrate the majesty of your own mind by continuously engaging it in activities that delight and challenge it. They provide a gentle reminder that the capacity for creativity, curiosity, and learning remains ever present. Your brain, with its remarkable ability to form new connections, loves a good challenge, and these pursuits harness that potential in refreshing, unexpected ways. It might seem a bit daunting at first to step into something new after decades of established routines, but know that every small step is an achievement. Perhaps you start with an improvised conversation with an old friend. Let your mind wander freely as you piece together an impromptu tale. Or maybe on another day you sit quietly, gathering your scattered thoughts into a page that soon blossoms into a colorful display of lines and shapes. The beauty of these activities is that they are meant to be enjoyed at your own pace. There is no deadline to meet and no pressure to perform. The simple act of trying, of daring to explore creativity again, is a worthy victory in itself. Every creative endeavor you embark upon enriches your life in more ways than one. It infuses your days with vibrant energy, sparks outbursts of laughter, and often even bridges gaps between generations. You might find that a conversation about a story you shared or the mosaic you carefully constructed opens the door to memories you thought were long past. These experiences remind you that each day is brimming with the possibility for rediscovery. Some days your improvised story might unfold in unexpected ways, leaving you amused and surprising yourself with the twists of fate that only creativity can produce. On other days, the process of blending natural treasures into a simple piece of art might reaffirm your belief in the beauty that surrounds you every day. The wonderful part of engaging your brain with such diverse activities is that it reveals a hidden treasure, the idea that learning and pleasure go hand in hand. When you allow yourself to be curious, you not only maintain mental sharpness, but also rekindle a sense of adventure that might have been quietly waiting within you all along. Every new hobby, every unexpected sidestep into creativity reshapes your internal world and gives your mind a healthy boost. You are, after all, a repository of countless experiences, a living library of memories, lessons, and emotions. Now is the time to honor that wealth of wisdom by exploring new paths, mixing traditions with modern marvels and opening up to experiences that bring sheer joy. It may also be comforting to think that reconnecting with your creative side doesn't demand perfect technique or expert knowledge. In fact, the errors, the detours, and even the imperfect moments are what can turn an ordinary day into something remarkably memorable. When you engage in improvisational storytelling, the unexpected twists of your narrative become a gift of spontaneity. When you take photos on a leisurely walk, you capture the poetry of everyday life. And when you create a mosaic from nature's offerings, you see the delicate harmony that arises when different elements come together. Every stroke of your pencil, every snap of your camera, and every careful placement of a natural treasure signifies that your journey continues to evolve, a beautiful ongoing celebration of life. Each exploration is a testament to the fact that life is a wonderful mosaic composed of countless moments of beauty, challenge, and inspiration. And while the activities may seem small, perhaps just a few minutes of creative expression or a short walk meant only to capture a striking scene, the cumulative effect on your mood, cognitive sharpness, and inner joy can be nothing short of transformative. So, why not set aside a little time this week to try something unexpected? Invite a friend to join you in crafting a story over a leisurely cup of tea, or head outdoors and let your eyes greet the wonders of nature as you pick up your camera. Perhaps later you might find a quiet corner in your home with a notebook and a set of colored pencils, ready to capture fleeting thoughts and blossoming images. Even if you're stepping into these activities for the very first time, remember that every moment you devote to self-discovery is one of renewal. Embracing these delightful exercises not only keeps your mind active, but also allows you to connect with parts of yourself that have always been there, waiting to be reawakened. In the end, these brain-boosting activities serve as a gentle reminder. Life is not measured by the number of years, but by the vibrancy of the experiences that fill those years. Each story you create, every dish you taste with full sensory awareness, every photograph that captures a fragment of beauty, and every mosaic designed from nature's scattered gifts becomes a treasure that enriches not only your mind but also your heart. And so, with each day that unfolds, celebrate the curiosity, the creativity, and the joy that is yours to claim. Embrace this stage of life with a spirit of exploration, knowing that every moment is an opportunity to learn something new about the world and about yourself. May you always find delight in the unexpected, comfort in creative expression, and strength in the knowledge that the mind grows ever resilient and rich with experience. Your journey is a beautiful narrative in itself, and these activities could be the next exciting chapters waiting to be written.